The former security chief of Twitter has filed an explosive whistleblower complaint against the company.
Peter Zatko claims Twitter executives buried, quote, egregious deficiencies in the company's cybersecurity practices. Zatko accuses the company of major problems in its defenses against hackers and spam. He also alleges Twitter executives deceived federal regulators and the company's board of directors about these issues. Zatko filed his complaint last month with entities including the SEC and Justice Department.
Joining us now is Kat Zakreski. She is a technology policy reporter for The Washington Post, and she co-wrote The Washington Post's article breaking this story. Kat, welcome. Thanks very much for being with us. So your article was really quite sobering to read through these allegations. Can you walk us through the most serious accusations that Zatko makes against Twitter in this complaint?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. Some of the most serious allegations that Zatko makes in this complaint revolve around Twitter's communications to the Federal Trade Commission. Since 2011, Twitter has been under what's known as a consent decree, an agreement with the agency saying that it would have a robust security plan in place and submit to regular audits of its practices. But Zatko alleges in this complaint that Twitter did not, in fact, have a strong security plan in place. Instead, he says that there were many inadequacies at Twitter that were far below industry standard practices. He says many of the company's servers were running outdated software. He alleges that the company was not able to keep track of data within its systems to be able to verify that it was actually deleted. He raises concerns about the amount of access that Twitter employees had to sensitive data within the company. And overall, this just paints a picture of a company where there was a lot of internal chaos and a lack of investment and prioritization from leadership to invest in security and privacy.
Kat, as we're talking about problems, major problems, according to Zatko, with hackers, sensitive data, I wonder how concerned should all of us be, anybody who's on Twitter, about our own privacy, about our own data, and why did Zatko decide to go public with his information now?
So Zatko was hired by Jack Dorsey after Twitter faced a major hack in 2020, where accounts of high-profile people like Elon Musk and Joe Biden were compromised. And he committed to help Twitter really clean up its act on security. And he really sees coming forward at this moment as a fulfillment of that obligation that he made and a continuation of the work that he's done over the years as a hacker and bringing security flaws to the attention of the public. And in terms of, individual concern over data and privacy practices, the Washington Post has a really helpful guide right now on individual settings and steps that you can take to better secure your own personal data. The other thing that I would mention is that these implications go beyond even just people who are on Twitter, because Twitter is such an influential platform that has implications for politics, for elections, for what stories get covered in the media. So whether or not you're on Twitter, these security problems could have grave consequences and risks for U.S. national security and democracy.
So given that, and given the seriousness of these allegations, Kat, how is Twitter responding?
Twitter has pushed back against many of the allegations from Zatko. They have released a statement where they claim that the complaint is, quote, riddled with inconsistencies. And they have said that security and privacy are a top priority for the company. But Zatko's documents, the communications that he's brought forward to lawmakers, tell a very different story. And so what we'll have to watch in the coming months is how the FTC, the SEC, DOJ, and lawmakers on Capitol Hill respond to these allegations.
Kat, when we were looking at that response from Twitter, two words jumped out at me: opportunistic, which is what they called Zatko, and damage to shareholders. I'm wondering what the potential implications of this complaint is for Twitter's ongoing legal battle with Elon Musk.
This complaint could have major implications and basically provide more ammunition to Elon Musk's claims that Twitter has effectively, misled him in its contract around issues like spam and bots, especially because the complaint alleges that executives were incentivized to focus on user growth over eliminating spam and bots. And so this will likely factor into that case. A source has told me today that Elon Musk's lawyers have already scheduled a deposition with Zatko. So we know that that this could potentially be something that figures into that legal case. We haven't heard very much from Elon Musk yet. At the last I saw, he had tweeted kind of a cryptic meme of Jiminy Cricket from the movie Pinocchio with the words "whistle while you work," which appeared to be a reference to this whistleblower. But it's very likely there's another hearing in that case just tomorrow. So it's likely we could hear very soon how this complaint and these new revelations might impact that ongoing litigation.
All right, Kat Zakrzewski, thank you.
Thank you.